How we doing, everyone, and welcome to my latest vlog. It's been a while since I've done a vlog, and you might be able to guess. Can you guess where we are? I'm not driving with no hands. We are sat on the Eurotunnel train underneath the ocean on our way to France. We're going back to Bow, people. It's April, we've got a week in Peg 12. I'm travelling again with my good friend Rob Greening, and we're going out to Rambo to try and bag a few French monsters. Absolutely stoked, really hyped about this trip. It's been a long time coming. I've had this one booked for 18 months now, and it's finally here. The van is packed to the absolute roof with all the equipment that we're going to need, and it's an exciting adventure to be taken with a good friend of mine. So hopefully you enjoy this vlog. I've got no idea what we're going to come across. We might struggle all week. We might catch a £100 common carp. I just don't know. But that's the beautiful thing about fishing. All I do know is we're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy it. It's a beautiful part of the world. The sun rises, the sun sets, the stars, the way we fish, being out in the boat, the excitement, the adrenaline rushes when those rods go off. If they do go off, you can't beat it. Like, Rambo is just a magical place, and if you ever get the opportunity to go there, regardless of what time of year, what peg, who you're fishing with, just take it, get to Rambo if you can. Not many people will, but if you can, get to Rambo, because I can assure you, once you get onto those banks, you won't want to fish anywhere else. It really does get under your skin. But anyway, it's the middle of the night, and yeah, we've got a long drive ahead, so I'll probably get a few more video clips of us stopping on the way down, but really looking forward to this one, and hopefully you enjoy the journey on this vlog, and we can actually get a few huge rainbow carp on the camera and show them to you on screen. Right, here we go, back to Bow. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning now. We've stopped at one of the classic, where is it? There you are, the old toilet stops that don't have any toilet seats. Got the kettle on. Check it out, full moon as well. Absolute monstrous full moon. We've been following it. It's been right in front of us all the way down. But how long have we been? It's 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. We've been driving all night. We've still got 4 hours left. We're making good time. So yeah, quick coffee stop and a little pit stop here, stretch the legs and stuff, and then yeah, it'll be time to start cracking on down to the sort of final leg of the journey. But it's cold, isn't it, Rob? It's you can't see Rob. Look, here he is. There he is. You can see Rob. There he is.
He's freezing. He's snug pack out the van.
He's all snug packed up. But yeah, it's a clear night. The stars are out. Big old moon's out. Is it big moon, big common?
Something like that.
£97 common?
Anything will do.
£97 common. Go on, big moon, big £97 common. But yeah, it's all going well so far. So we're going to have a coffee and then crack on. We've got a hotel for the night tonight. Chill out, go and do some shopping. Oh, it's shaking holding this camera. And then, yeah, and then on to Bow. So a little update. We shall crack on. So we've arrived in Bordeaux, which is our stop for today. So it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. It is a beautiful sunny day, and look behind me, our hotel is on a beautiful lake, and Rob has found something rather exciting. Here he comes. Beep beep. Check this out. Scooter hire. We're gonna get ourselves a couple of whips and go for a cruise and see if we can go and see the sights of the city, eh, Rob?
Yeah.
Mate, how much is it for to hire one of these bad boys then?
22 cents a minute.
22 cents a minute?
Yeah, something like that.
Right, we better be quick then. Let's go for a burn around this lake.
I've just got this one for mate, they go 25 miles an hour. It's pretty freaking savage, these ones.
25 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Right, go on, I'll race you. Let's see if we can get a lap around this lake. I don't know how big this is, but there's a sailing club down the end there, so we're going to go for a quick burn around the lake. And yeah, we're waiting for the rest of the guys to arrive. There's about 12 of us, I think, staying in that hotel. They're heading down to Rainbow tomorrow. So, you know, I've been driving all night. We haven't had any sleep or anything, but such a beautiful day. We're just going to come out, just chill out for the day, get a few coffees, get some food, play around on these scooter things, and yeah, then get a good night's sleep. I think we're going to go out for a meal, actually. Go out for a meal, get a good night's sleep. Go into the supermarket tomorrow morning, and then, yeah, head to Rainbow. So, it's all good. I'm finally sort of relaxed now. We sort of made it, the van's done well, and yeah, we get to play on these. Here he comes. Beep, 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 beep. Right, I'm gonna go and pick up my new ride.
Pick up the new whip.
Got it. Pay your deposit, choose your payment card. Right, for those people that know me, I can't believe I can go on my phone and get given one of these things. People are actually going to think I'm going to be responsible with it. This is amazing. I haven't got the card though. How do I set it up?
Choose mine. Choose mine and pop it up.
Right. That is great fun. I'm all about this. I am all about this. Right, slalom. Ready? Just going for a nice little cruise around Bordeaux, and then we found this nice little waterway. It's like a sort of like man-made little canal, and we've found the first carp of the trip. I don't know if the camera's going to pick them up, but there's a few commons. There's one centre of shot. There's probably about 5 or 6 little commons cruising around. Beautiful day. It's about I don't know, it must be about 22 degrees. Sun is shining, life is good. Check mateys out. Rob, that's what you need next time.
Mate, that is a proper topper, that is.
What's that?
Proper topper.
I want to see you on one of those, mate. And there we go. We just found this another little inland waterway next to these flats. We've only gone and found ourselves some ghosties, some kois.
Perch to £2. Perch that are easily £3.
Oh, there's one going through there, yeah. Big old roach, big old perch.
Rod.
Rod down there as well. The bream is spawning. There you go, up amongst the ducks, there's another fish. Hey, it's beautiful, this place, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah.
Highly rate Bordeaux from what we've seen. And then we get to sample some of the wine tonight, yeah?
Yeah, indeed.
Lovely stuff. Right, we'll find our way back. So we're almost at Rainbow. We had a lovely stay over at Bordeaux with a few of the other lads that are fishing this week. Had a few beers, went out on the scooters around the lake this morning. It's just been a really nice chilled stopover before heading down to Bow. It's a long way to drive, it's a lot of hard work getting set up in the swims and finding the spots and stuff, so we're now feeling fresh. We've just been to the supermarket, stocked up. We're driving through this beautiful countryside on the way to Bow. Super excited, super stoked, so yeah, getting ready for action.
Remnants of the Bordeaux forest fires, which got very, very close to the lake. It's so hot and dry down here. The summers are 40 degrees. The fern and all the pine feels like dust when you cram it in your hands, which is why there is absolutely no smoking or anything like that around Rainbow. Otherwise you're sent packing.
We have arrived, that's the sign we wanted to see. Down that track. We're hoping there's going to be a huge fish in peg 12.
Grande fromage.
Grand fromage. good morning, good morning. It is Sunday morning here on the beautiful Bow. We got here last night, as you've probably seen in the video earlier. And yeah, we set up. I didn't really record too much yesterday afternoon when we got into the swim, because to be honest it takes quite a long time to set all the equipment up, and then we went out in the boat, we tried to find some spots. We actually managed to get 3 rods out each, so we've still got 1 rod to go. We've got 3 rods out before it got dark, and we're kind of happy with those spots actually. I'm fishing one in a 15-foot gully, I've got one up on a 9-foot shelf up by the island, and I've got one on a 7-foot spot right down on the margin, just down on my near side. But I thought we're going to have a little look at the camp, go and see the setup that we've got. First morning on Bow, sat here having a cup of coffee, and Graham's rod's pinged off. It's Sunday morning, just got up, having a stretch of the legs, thinking about putting a kettle on, and lo and behold, I had a drop back, just a slight little drop back on the left hand rod, or sort of the middle rod really, left hand over on the middle side of the swim. A little bit of a drop back, then it just pulled up and we were thinking, oh bream, and then the tip pulled over and I was into my first rainbow carp of the trip. Got to say, I'm absolutely chuffed with this. To get a bite on Sunday is a really good sign for a swim. Normally it takes, even with fish in your swim, normally it takes until sort of like the Monday or the Tuesday for the spots to build. But getting one Sunday morning, when we haven't even got a full set of rods out, is yeah, is a great start to the week. Yeah, so there you go. This is our little our home from home. I don't know if you see, I'll give you a guided tour later, but I've even got a little green carpet leading into the old man cave there. Got a cook tent behind Rob's bivvy there, and at the moment we're fishing 2 rods over on the right hand side of the swim. So Rob's got his 2 rods there, then I've got my 2 rods, and then Rob's got 1 and I've got 1. So what we're doing is we're fishing 2, 2, 2, 2 in the swim, just because we've got loads of water and it's quite a sort of like narrow and wide swim, this one. So you've got like a massive load of water off to the left hand side, and you've got a lot of water over to the right hand side. And what we decided is we didn't really want to fish one on one side and one on the other, because if all the fish were down on the far left hand side of the swim, it might mean that sort of one of us clubs it for the week and the other one doesn't get a bite. So we've decided to go 2, 2, 2, 2. And yeah, great start. It's a common carp, don't know how big, probably I think it's over 40, so it's a nice start to the week. It's I thought when I was bringing it to the bank, I thought it was a big cheese, but it's not quite a big cheese. I think it's a kipper. I think we call them a kipper. I think it's a kipper, that one.
It's closer to 50 than it is 40, mate.
Does it?
Yeah.
That'll do.
Not a bad start.
Hey, that's all right. Yeah, I'll take that. Right, we're going to go and get this all sorted out. But yeah, Bow, we're back, and we've started off well. There we go, first fish of the session, first fish of the trip rather. It's £49.12, so over the moon with this one, just shy of £50 of immaculate rainbow common. The fish in here really are stunners, and look at that. Oh, there we go. What a start to the trip, eh? Buzzed about this. It's lovely to be back at Bow. You could have wished for a better start. Awesome. Look at the head on it as well. It's got a real crinkly head. That's come on, have a little look at that head on it, Rob. See his forehead?
Yeah, proper rainbow wrinkly, eh?
That's like it's been clubbed with a lump hammer. Awesome beast. Absolutely awesome beast. So, yeah, we'll get this one back. I'm not going to put the rod back out straight away. What I'm going to do is, because I put a bit of bait down over the spot, if there's more of these there feeding and just sort of like clearing the area and stuff, I don't want to disturb it too much. So we've got all week. So what I'm going to do is have a coffee and rest, well, not rest the swim, but I'm just not going to go and put the boat straight over the top of it. I'm just going to leave it a little while, set the other rod up, because we've got 1 more rod to do each, and then give it another hour or 2 and then go and drop the rods off then. So that's what the plan is. And yeah, love it when a plan comes together. Sweet. But we just have a little look at the bait. Got my little bait station here. Try and have it away from the bivvy because this stuff absolutely stinks. But you know what? The carp love it. And it's boilie only on this water. So what I've got in there is I've got 20ml, 15ml, and then some chopped boilie with loads of trigger liquid, a little bit of the Nutribate salmon oil over the top. Give it a good old mix around with a scoop, and then we've got the boats there, and just ladling it out off the boat and just give them a good old spread. My sort of like thinking behind it is to try and get some of the sort of particle and the liquid down into the silt, to then get the carp rooting around and really actually feeding on the spots, and hopefully you get the spot going a bit quicker. And then once they're on the spots, you tend to find that they sort of like, you know, to keep visiting the same areas. Getting the fish feeding is one of the, I know it sounds stupid, but the faster you can get them feeding on the spot, the better in my opinion, and the longer they'll stay there. So there you go, that's the bait I'm using. It's worked so far, so there's a few more to come. So a little update, it is Sunday dinner time, and we've got all 4 of our rods out now, so 4 each that is. We've got 8 rods in the swim. Saying that, Rob's just going out to redo one of his ones. Wasn't quite happy with his presentation on that, so he's changed over to, rather than having a supple link on there, he's gone over to a stiffer link just to try and sort of kick it away from the lead and give him a bit more confidence, I think, really, in that that rig. I think where I've had a fish on a Ronnie and I'm fishing 4 Ronnies, it's sort of yeah, got into his head a little bit that that's a good idea. So why not? Confidence is key, eh? This is just looking out into the swim. Let's do a little update of the swim here. So over on the island there, that great big tree that's coming out, ooh, don't focus on my finger, that tree there, that marks the edge of your boundary, and it runs all the way sort of back there into the bay. So we've got, and then you've got bars that run, use my finger again, you've got bars that sort of run, there's 3 of them I think, 1, 2, 3 along this way. So you'd be going out in the boat out towards the island there, and all of a sudden you're in 15 foot, 15 foot, and then all of a sudden just out of nowhere comes a bar up to sort of like 5 foot, 6 foot from the surface. So pretty savage, hence why you've got to use these floats to keep your line up out of the water, because if you fished it traditional style, you'd have your lead over in the back gullies, but then your line would be running over the top of 3 real savage bars, and the chance of actually getting a fish in would be very minimal. But yeah, Rob's going out there sort of out here somewhere. He's going out to redo one of his rods. We're fishing 2-2-2-2 to sort of spread our rods around all around the swim. Now I've got a rod down in 7 foot of the water, just off the margin there, just about there, underarm flick from the bank. You know, if I was in the UK, I'd probably be sitting there with a sawn off in the bush or something, but you know, here you're still boating it out there, still fishing the floats, because you know, you want to keep the line out. There could be all sorts of obstacles between my rod tip and that float there, but that's around about, I don't know, 80-90 yards. I've got another rod, because no one's fishing peg 14, which is down in these trees here. I've got another rod all the way down here. Between me and that, there's just loads of like horrible bars with snags and all, just no clear area to present. So I went down there and I found a 15-foot gully, so I've got a rod in the 15-foot gully down there. And this morning I had to bite from the depth of 15 foot, so I'm sort of confident the fish are going to drop into that depth of water. Rob's going out in the boat now, probably see him in the distance. He's fishing on the drop off from, I think it goes down from 12 foot down to 22 foot, so he's fishing on the sort of like the slope there that drops down. And then other rods, we had some fish last night and this morning boshing up like about a rod length off the island. So Rob's just moved a rod onto that this morning, or this afternoon I think it was, sort of about 1 o'clock. So he's now got a rod out there. I've got one in a 15-foot gully just in front of where there's a gap in the islands. That gap in the island looks really tasty to put a rod in, but it's only very, very shallow. It's about 2.5 foot deep. I might be tempted if the weather gets warm, if the fish if I think they're going to be moving through that, I might push the rod up into the gap. But again, loads of dead wood, loads of snags there, and to be honest, I just don't think they're going to be moving through it, but who knows, maybe they will. And then my other rod is just a bit further along the island, just about there. That's up close to 200. That's in 9 foot of water, I think. So again, just sort of hedging my bets with 15 foot and 9 foot. And then Rob's got one out on our boundary in the open water there. That's in between 2 bars in the gully, the deep gully. And then he's got one again in the gully, sort of on the near side bar where it goes around the corner in that bay. So there you go, that's where we're fishing. There's the spots we're fishing. It's been good to get a fish on the Sunday. That 49-pounder was a very welcome fish this morning. I've also had a tench and I caught a bass as well, so there you go, going on a species hunt. But yeah, little update, Sunday dinner time, everything is going well, and we're having a lovely time at Rainbow. Well, it's the middle of the night, I don't know what time it is. I got rudely awakened by an absolute belter on my right hand rod up in the shallow water. Took to the boat to land it, and honestly I was going around and round and round and round in circles. I was getting dizzy out there because this long mirror, she's probably about, I don't know, upper 20s or something, an absolute fight machine, was just spinning me up a treat. So I'll get her quickly weighed and then get her back. But yeah, fun and games in the middle of the night, so we're off fish number 2, so exciting times. Sweet, right, on we go. You can see why she fought so hard. Look at the size of the fins on her. Let me see if she... or him probably.
Yeah, his male is melting everywhere.
Yeah, oh yeah, Jesus. Calm down, boyo. But yeah, just huge rudder on it. Massive pecs. Ain't nothing, and you're a horny male, aren't you? Oh, hey, don't get excited, boy. Hey, get me excited. Right, let's get this one back so we can get out to those big fat females. So, yeah, those big girls are going to be fat right about now. They're going to be huge. All right, thank you very much, fish. Let's get you back. Hello, little fellas. You gonna pet my toes? Mum's over there saying, what you guys doing? Come over here. Well, it's Monday morning now. Just having a coffee and a croissant, as you do in France. And yeah, last night, 5 o'clock in the morning, an absolute belt on that right hand rod. You've seen the images from that 27-pound sort of like leathery mirror. Real angry male fish, that one. No wonder it fought so hard in the boat. But yeah, been up watching the water. A few fish showing, not sort of in a congregated area, just sort of sploshing around the swim really. But we've definitely got some carp here still. Now it's a case of just trying to get them onto the spots and feeding. But the old chicks are loving it. I've got to go. I'll check this out. Here we are. This is how we live. Look at that. Coffee and a croissant. Turn that off. I'm going to boil that too much. But yeah, I'm going to go and enjoy my coffee and croissant. How are you getting on out there, Rob? Nice croissant?
Yeah, it was, mate. It was lovely.
Your turn next, isn't it, for a whacker, I reckon?
Yeah.
I'm calling it, mate. I reckon your middle left rod, the one that goes out there by the island, mate, that's going to be the ticket.
Yeah?
Yeah, mate, in that gully.
Let's hope so.
That's going to do a whacker.
I've put my eggs in one basket, fishing gullies on all rods, but 12 is a big fish swim, especially on that left side.
Right.
So
It's going to happen, boy. It's going to happen. Whilst we wait and we enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, it's Monday about 5 o'clock. We've seen fish in the swim today, but we didn't get any bites. And we just stood next to the rod. Rod got a drop back. His float buried. He's into his first rainbow carp of the trip. Which is giving a bit of a song and dance, but we got one. I don't think it's very big, but he's off the mark. Sweet. Come on in, Rob, show us your dirty 30.
Here she is. Oh, he is even. He's a proper angry, melting male.
Let's zoom in. Nice one, mate.
Happy days.
Want his great granddad, yeah?
Yeah.
Well done, bud. Good evening. Right, an update on, what day are we on? Monday evening. There you go. Time flies when you're having fun, eh? So Rob had that 30 pounder, and I had that fish at 5 o'clock this morning. But that's been all the action we've had today. We have seen some fish showing down in the, let's have a little look here. Right down in the far end of our peg that way. Well, actually, it's more in peg 14 for us, just on the boundary of peg 14, but no one's fishing down in peg 14 this week. And I've just repositioned my rod down there because this morning, basically when I went to put the rod out there, I dropped an H block, and I dropped the H block on this sort of like snaggy, lumpy bar, and then I was fishing the gully next to it on the left-hand side. But the fish were showing around the H block and sort of like all around the area there, but I didn't get any pickups this morning. And you know when you just got like that niggling thought in your mind. So basically I wanted to redo it. So I went down there, and I'm really pleased that I did, because yes, I dropped the H block on top of this like lumpy bar, and I was fishing on the left hand side of it in the drop off in sort of 15 foot of silty gully. But what I did is when I went back over in the boat, I used the H block as a marker, and I actually went along the bar towards the H block. And as I went along the bar, again, it was all snaggy and lumpy and bumpy and unpresentable. But then when I got sort of like 2 rod lengths in front of the H block, I sort of like mistakenly marked the back end of like a tabletop on top of the bar, which is about 10 foot depth all the way across. That goes from 9 to 10.5 foot. So a lot shallower water, and I think that is where the fish were showing today. I think they must have been using that sort of tabletop area to rub off, flank off, and actually visit. But it looked like they're boshing over my spot, if that makes sense. But I don't think they're actually dropping into the gully. I think they were using that sort of tabletop area. So yeah, repositioned the rod, feeling confident on that. My margin rod, I redid that one as well, which is just a sort of like an underarm flick off the margin. Again, I had a few little doubts about whether I put it a little bit too far off the bank when I dropped it. And when I've gone back over there, I've dropped it a little bit closer to the bank. Got a really nice hard drop on that one. It's like a sort of like gravelly shelf which goes down and then it just drops off into the silt. So I'm actually up on the gravel, and I feel a lot more confident on that now. And then the other 2 rods I've had bites from, so you know, more than happy on where those ones are. So yeah, it's all good. Life is good at Bow. Rob's cooking. What's that?
Get on the main line.
Get on the main line, don't use that.
NutriBait's plug.
It's 2-1 to NutriBait's, boy.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, and yeah, what we've done is, because I picked up those 2 fish quite early, using the chops and the whole boilies and the crumb and liquid inside it. I think Rob's gone over and done a sort of similar presentation on one of his rods as well. But it's early days, you know, like the thing is when you come to Rainbow, you don't, although it seems like a really long time a week, and you think, well, a 48-hour session on an English lake seems like, you know, a fairly decent amount of time. When you come out here in the style of fishing that you're doing, you know, it takes you a good probably 3 days or 4 days to settle into the swim. And the other thing as well is that, you know, like if you're in an English lake and you've got 100 yards of bank here up to the island, you'd probably just sort of think, right, okay, well, that's the feature there, I'll cast up to the island. But here there's so many bars, troughs, plateaus, gullies, you know, islands, snags, features that you can go and fish up to. It takes you days to sort of like just to learn the swim. So we feel like we're getting there now. We feel like we're getting there. We're starting to unlock the swim, I think. So fingers crossed we haven't spooked the fish. We haven't used the boat very much at all today. We've tried to keep it nice and minimal with the boat use. And yeah, we'll see how we go. So there you go, a little update Monday evening on Rainbow. Peg 12. I know the people watching this like to know what peg we're in, so peg 12. I'll make sure I put it on the old title of the YouTube video. Yeah, peg 12. Let's see what tonight brings. Right, it's first light on Tuesday morning now. We had a quiet night last night. Only action was just a couple of little bleeps on one of Rob's rods, maybe a liner. But just woke up to this beautiful sunrise, and yeah, hopefully we get a bite this morning. One of the things about rainbows, you get these beautiful sunrises and sunsets, and yeah, what a nice way to wake up, eh? Right, it's a little update. It is Tuesday, about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, I think. And Rob positioned one of his rods real tight up underneath that snag there. 5 foot of water, so like hardly any water at all. And I was sat next to his rod and the tip just pulled over like this. Hit into it. Got caught up with his other line out there. He's gone out in the boat. He's just pulled it up and netted it. And we think it's two-tone. He's just like, it's huge. For Rob to say it's huge, he's caught some big fish. You know this is going to be something special. So yeah, I'm buzzing. I can only imagine what he's like inside that boat there. So yeah, I think the plan might have just come good. Right, let's see what he's got. What you got, Rob?
Fucking great mirror. It's two-tone.
Mate, that's bigger than a big cheese, isn't it? Absolute donkey, that's what they are. They're Mate, you got big cheeses and you got donkeys, mate. I think you might have a donkey in there, yeah? Right. Excuse the language, but look at the fucking size of that.
Oh my word.
Rob, what have you just caught?
The fish that we were talking about 2 nights ago.
Mate! Oh my God,
pink
Rob.
prop up hanging out his mouth. I had to go down really fine to get the bite. Look at that. Something you use in England, not Rainbow.
I don't even know if this camera's doing this justice, Rob, but that is... Oh, mate. Is it two-tone? It's got those tiny little scales on it.
Yeah, that's two-tone.
Right. Well, let's get her weighed.
Cheers, cheers. Thanks, man.
Really pleased to hear. That was absolutely awesome, mate. Fucking you pretty well done.
Cheers, man.
Right, let's go and see what Rob is rustling up in the kitchen.
Hey. Wow.
What have we got, Rob?
So, we got a fillet steak on the go.
Oh,
There's that bad boy in there. Just about to put the veg in. Let me get a towel.
we've got broccoli and asparagus. Oh, look at that steak there. Rob's got steak, I've got chicken.
And then in the oven we've got
Oh,
roast potatoes.
look at those.
You've got chicken,
Oh,
marinated
chicken,
lemon and
yeah.
coconut chicken breast.
Very nice. And what was that
getting
sauce that you said was the one, Rob?
You can't have steak without béarnaise.
Béarnaise we're going
Chef's
for.
secret, that.
Oh, okay, I'm looking forward to that. And what have you got inside the in the freezer? We've got something in the freezer, I think.
In the freezer. Oh! We got them. What we got? Piper head stick. Your shampoos you brought.
A nice bottle of bubbly.
Which
So
only gets open if we've had a 70.
it does indeed. If we
So
had a
this is gonna
PB,
go down lovely tonight.
it shall do, mate. It shall do. Well done, mate. So yeah, we're celebrating in style. Tuesday night. It's pressure's off a little bit, Rob. Really, isn't it? You know, like we
Yeah.
came to have a whacker, and you've had one, mate. So you know, the pressure's off a little bit. And it's early in the week, so hopefully you get a few more bites and stuff. But the weather's changed. It's been, since Rob had that fish, it's been absolutely lashing it down. Like if you compare that view there to what it was like, you know, like yesterday evening and the evening before, you know, it's absolutely bucketing it down today. This is what I remember it being like. The ground that here is like, you can't see it very well at the moment, but it goes like a black sticky mud. Rob was saying it's carbon, but yeah, it's like charcoal, and it goes everywhere. So yeah, it's like a different lake at the moment, but it's all good. We're still confident. We're having a lovely time here. We're going to tuck into this grub and have a really good night celebrating. Wednesday morning, and look at that. Couldn't have been further from the weather that we had when we arrived. I was in a pair of shorts, t-shirt off, getting sunburnt. Now I'm wrapped up in a bivvy. I've got a bivvy flood, a bivvy river coming through the bivvy at the moment. It's been tipping down all night. We haven't had any bites. The last bite was Rob's big girl. It was around about 11 o'clock yesterday morning. But it is what it is. Just got to crack on and enjoy it. We just had our croissants delivered and our baguettes delivered by Max. So get those down us in a minute. I'm going to head up to the clubhouse today, have a nice shower, regroup. And yeah, hopefully the rain will stop. I think it's due to stop this afternoon. Then we've got a couple of days of sort of just overcast weather without this rain. with loads of heavy rain coming in Saturday morning, which is when we need to leave the swim. So we're going to pack down Friday and then just have the bivvies and bed chairs out in the swim and just sort of like work from the van. It'll be at the back of the swim. But yeah, there you go. Just a little update. A little bit slow since Rob's fish. Oh, there is another guy called Rob that's on the swim. He's in peg 19. He sent through to the WhatsApp group last night a picture of the most immaculate colossal common I've ever seen in my life. 78 pounds of just pristine common. It truly is wow, it's an absolute belter of a fish. So massive congratulations to Rob who had that one. And yeah, that's been 4 £70 plus fish this week. 4 70s this week. What a place Rainbow is. Hopefully there's still a few more to come. Right, it's Wednesday morning. Just had our coffee and croissant. And Graham's had a bite on the long rod. Giving him the merry run around. It's towing him all around out there. So let's hope he comes back victorious with a big one. In between times it is absolutely tipping it down. Well, that hurts a little bit. Ugh. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday. My long rod down in on the peg 14 boundary in the open water on top of the bar went, hooked into it, plodding around, you know, felt like a nice fish, and then went out in the boat. She was snagged up, went around the other side of it, pinged it off of one snag, and I was like, yes! And then the line just went down into the other snag, went around the back of that one, pinged the line off of that one, and when I pinged the line off of that one, fish was gone. But that's the way it happens at Rainbow, mate. But yeah, gutted. Never mind, onwards and upwards, eh? Onwards and upwards. Okay, so just going for a little stroll down the path just to sort of clear my head. You've probably noticed, but gone and had a shower, had a shave, feel nice and fresh. The rain has finally stopped. We've had 24 hours of torrential rain, and it's finally stopped. And yeah, I just thought I'd go for a little stroll, clear my head. Burnt me a little bit losing that fish, I must admit. You know, pouring rain, been waiting for, I haven't had a bite for 48 hours, and then it was a very subtle bite, felt quite a heavy fish, just plodding around. It was my own fault, the leads didn't eject from the leg clip. I don't know how it didn't happen. I only pushed it on about 1 millimetre, just over one of the little ribs on the leg clips. And somehow the way the fish picked up the bait and moved off, it didn't sort of bolt off, it didn't shake its head at all, it just plodded off with my hook stuck in its lip, and it ended up getting stuck in the snags on the top of the bar. These things happen on Rainbow, like the bars are littered with snags and stumps and roots and stuff. This underneath the water here is like well, it would be like this with the pine trees and the flooded forest. In fact, actually, if I turn around, you can see the steep banks behind me here. So you've got the steep banks coming down. So when this was a pit being dug, they would dug this bit, dug that bit, dug down deeper where the lake is, and then they obviously had the bars and stuff, which they went along and dug even deeper. But all along the bars, I'll see if I can point it out. On the bottom of the lake, you've got things like this. Where is it? There you go. I don't know if you can see it here. Branches like this. Stumps like that, you know, all sorts of debris and stumps and bits and bobs like that that's littered all over these bars. And it only takes for the fish just to sort of like kite and for the line to go underneath it, and it gets trapped. And when I went out there, I pinged it off of 2 of the snags, and then when I lifted it up, the fish had gone, and the rig just came up to the surface. But it's all good. It's Wednesday. It's just gone Wednesday lunchtime. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. You know, we've still got plenty of time. Just trying to think. Are we halfway through? Maybe just slightly over halfway through the trip. It's all going well at the moment. You know, you might even be able to see my float. This is how close I'm fishing this one to the bank. Can we pick it up? Where is it? Don't know if it's, I'll tell you what, I'll see if I can turn it around. Hang on. Let's have a little look. There we go. Get me out of the picture. Zoom it in. There you go. There's the float. Just there, centre shot. So I've got a leader going along there, going along here. Oh, so that leader's around about 10 foot long on this one because it's only about 5 foot deep. So that leader will end there. I've got one lead there, I've got a second lead there, and then that's where my rig is. So yeah, you can sort of see how close to the bank I'm fishing that. Really is quite a close in spot. But I think it's a known one. It's done some fish in the past, this spot here. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Just have to wait and see what happens. But the wind's died down, it's warming up ever so slightly. It's still quite a cold day. There you go, bosh. There was a fish there. And that is actually that's on one of the bars. Now I've been tempted to move a rod over onto these bars. We've seen a few fish splosh in there. Oh, and there was another fish over by the island there. They're starting to show. I might get a cup of tea and stand out and just watch this for a little bit, because they might show us where they want it. There we are. It's a beautiful thing about fishing. You never quite know what's going to happen. 1 minute you're down. It only takes for a fish to show in your swim gets your hopes back up again. Right, I'm going to go get a cup of tea and crack on. Not only a big carp hunter, also specialist angler of all different species.
Big or small?
Mr. Greening. We got there then, boy.
Billy.
Got old Billy Big Mouth.
Hey.
Hey, check him out.
Nice way to pass the time while the chicken's in the oven.
Exactly, it is, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I gave you the lucky lure, didn't I?
You did.
Can't
You're
believe
having it back.
Can't believe I gave you that one. Good stuff, mate. Bit of fun whilst we're waiting for the carp. Thursday morning. We've had a roller coaster of emotions this morning. First, Rob's rod went off around about I don't know, 8 o'clock, something like that, 7:30. Rob's rod went off. Unfortunately, lost that fish there trying to get it out the snag. It's just a hook pull, nothing you can do about it. And yeah, whilst we're sort of like licking our wounds, then my gully rod down there just absolutely peeled off with this fish. So yeah, chuffed with this. It's been a long time coming. Don't quite know how big it is. Probably I don't know. I reckon she's a 40, boy. I reckon she's a 40. We'll get her up on the scales and have a little look. Cool, is that rolling, is it? Yeah. Right, I'll try and lift this one up for the camera. I don't know if he's going to behave. He wants to get back to those big females, but we will see. There you go, 41.3. There we go, a few snaps. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this latest episode of Can't Roll, Won't Roll. Today we're at the beautiful Rainbow Lake and we're going to be looking at how you can make a mix that will catch you a fish of a lifetime. What you're going to need for this is some good old trigger liquid, 15mm shelf lives, 20mm shelf lives, cheap as chips NGT crusher, and some good old salmon oil. Right, let's get started. What a beautiful mix. Come on in, Rob the cameraman. Have a little look at this. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful stench coming from that trigger. Delicately presented, served with a Ronnie on top. There you go. Beautiful. So we're going into Thursday night now. It's around about 8 o'clock. And you might have noticed that we've positioned the rods differently. We decided for the last 2 nights just to have a little bit of a switch up. Bite time's been in the morning, so we've got sort of like one more bite time left, and we decided to switch things up a bit and just have a little bit of a change to see if we can nick a bite. You see Rob's just setting a rod down there. That's down in the bay round to the right hand side. Looks super carpy round there. There's 2 fallen trees, very shallow, so we decided to stick a rod in there for the last couple of nights. We've pulled the rod from sort of centre of shot now in the gully there. And I did have 2 rods out on the island, sort of out here, one in 9 foot and one in 15 foot. What I've done is I've actually gone and moved it. I don't know if the camera probably won't make it out, but there's a little tiny cut there that's about the width of a boat that goes through into the island's water. And I've gone and put a pole out on the island with a hook, run the line through it, float, double lead, and I'll fish in the entrance of that cut. So if any fish are coming in and out of that cut, hopefully they drop onto my bait. And then the other rods that I've got one that's been positioned up tight against the island there. That's right up next to the island in 4 foot of water. Again, I've had some fish boshing. I think I had some fish boshing there last night as well. So Rob moved his rod from out in the 15-foot gully there, so I decided to go and put my one up tight to the island. And then I've dropped one halfway out, or just past halfway out, around about here, just on the back of the bar. The bar comes up to 3 foot off the surface, and I've gone and put my one on, just sort of like basically laid it over the back of the bar there. Again, I have seen fish showing there this week, and we haven't had a rod on that bar, so just thought I'd give it a go. Rob's got his sort of like banker spot that's up against the snag tree on the far side next to the island. He's sent one long down next to the island there. I've got one long down towards peg 14, which is where I've had 2 bites from here. And then I moved my margin rod, which surprisingly didn't do any bites. I thought it was going to do some bites down there on my margin, but hasn't done any bites. I moved my one, and Rob decided that he wanted to go and fish one right down in the corner by peg 14. So he's sent one long all the way down there. Again, we have seen some fish showing down there, so he's decided to go and investigate down there. So there we go. Got 2 nights left. We've got to start packing up tomorrow because we've got to be off super early Saturday morning. So really, this is the last night to kick back and relax. Gonna have a few beers, enjoy ourselves, and maybe put a few tunes on and just celebrate being at Rainbow. Yeah, there we go. And I've got to say, I've got my bank sticks all straight. I'm well happy with that, and it's looking good for a bite. So fingers crossed. It's Friday afternoon, around about 5 o'clock, and our time at Rainbow is almost up. Had a wonderful week this week. The fishing has been hard. We've had just the 5 fish and a couple of losses. It's gone quite hard across the whole of the lake. The rain that we had coming in, it just seems to have killed the fishing, to be honest with you. At this time of year, the fish are getting ready to spawn. I think that there was good weather down here last week, and then when we turned up we still had the sunshine at 20 degrees, and then that cold weather just put the fish off feeding, and then sort of put them back a little bit. But it's been a wonderful time. It's been really enjoyable being in Peg 12, sharing a week with Robin here. He's great company. He's just shot up the clubhouse now, but he's great company. He's a great angler, and yeah, hopefully we get some more trips on here together in the future. You can see we're sort of, it feels like we're English fishing now. We've both got our brollies up, all the kit's been packed away. We've been blessed with some dry weather today, so all the gear got packed away in the van. We've just got our brollies and bed chairs, and obviously our rods out for tonight. And yeah, we've got to be winding 8 o'clock in the morning, so you might see some footage of some fish, fingers crossed, tonight. But to be honest with you, I'm not that hopeful. We've got our rods spread all over the place. We've got them down in the deep gully where I had the bites from, across on the far margin of the islands, on the near side bar. We've got them down the gully there. We've even tucked a rod around in the bay to our right hand side to see if we can sneak out one last fish, but we're not really seeing them show. We're not getting any liners. It just looks devoid of carp, to be honest with you. I don't know where they've all gone. Maybe into the islands getting ready to spawn, I don't know. But anyway, it's been a wonderful week. Hopefully you've enjoyed this vlog. Probably get some footage on the way back up to the ferry port as well. I need to find myself a patisserie that does those epic little sort of like French tarts. You know the ones I'm on about with the little strawberries and stuff on top of them? Oh, those ones. Need to get some of those in me tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, hope you're all good. Catch you soon. Well, this was a nice welcome pack-up treat, wasn't it, Rob?
And it's kept us at least a fish a day.
It has indeed, it has indeed. What are we saying weight-wise, bud?
38.15.
38.15, nice. Well, that was Rob actually had to leave the swim, so I was looking after the rods, and it was Rod's rod that went off and I played it in, so it's a proper joint effort, this one, I reckon, mate.
Yeah, we'll share that one. I'll have that half and you have that half.
Which one you have? But you haven't the pretty yet?
Yeah, I like them scales. I'll go for this half and you can have that half.
Alright, yeah, well you have that side. What's the other side look like? He's got a funny little quite a pretty little thing, isn't he? Look at his dorsal fin, he had a little
Interestingly though, every single fish has been a male.
Yeah. It's interesting,
Not
isn't it?
milting, but you can tell by the anal fin.
They're all getting ready to spawn, aren't they? I think the big females are full at the moment, mate, and they're just not really wanting to put any more food inside them, whereas the males are getting a little bit more energetic.
Yes, one buggers.
Right. We'll get that one back. What do you reckon? You calling another one, or you reckon that's it?
Oh, I think we're good for one more bite.
We've got until, what time do you have to wind the rods in? 8 o'clock tomorrow morning?
Well, Pascal said to me at the club at latest 9:30.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to be an 8 o'clock reeling, isn't it?
Yeah, 8 o'clock winding.
We had a couple of bites yesterday before 8, didn't we?
Yeah, mate, yeah. We've had a couple sort of like on first light, just on first light, so there's still hope. We've redone the rods. It's looking quite moody, the skies now. There's a big old black cloud coming over, but it's all good. There we go, fish number 6 from Bo. Happy days. Well, that is the end of our trip. That's the end of our week at Bo, isn't it, Rob, eh?
Yeah, good week.
It's been a great week. Really, really good week. We ended up with 6 fish out of 8 bites. 75.13 was the biggest. Well done, Rob. Congratulations. And we're just about to head to the patisserie to go and get some celebratory delights. Kind of chocolates. I want one of those little tarts with little strawberry things on it. Like, that's what I really want. I don't
Danish pastry.
You want Danish pastry?
Danish pastry in France.
You can't have a Danish pastry in France.
No,
Get it, it's
can't
just not
have
right.
that, mate.
Custard things.
No.
Oh, mate, look at him. Mate, hang on. God, check out that health and safety. Yeah, let me see if I can. Oh, hang on, I'm on manual focus. There you are. Just hanging out the window, painting and decorating. That's awesome. Right, he's going to become a cropper. Right, let's go and sample these patisserie. Until next time.
Paddock chocolate for me.
Paddock chocolate for you, yeah?
Yeah. It's like an egg and tomato wrap.
So you can't have an egg and tomato wrap in a patisserie.
Oh no, I'm going to get patisserie stuff, but I like sweet at lunchtime. I like savoury in the morning.
And this is how you celebrate, a good week in France. Look at them. Little tarts with the strawberries on. Yes. Got that. Pan of chocolates for the kids. Pan of raisins for the journey home. And Rob is holding up the patisserie with his broken friend.